beautiful day. GM. On this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Morocco, Seth, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rock Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rock Radio.
Yo. What up? Good morning, GM. Monday, March 6th, 2023. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Another beautiful week to have a beautiful week. Woo! Feeling fired up on this beautiful, fine, cold, but sunny Monday morning in Montreal, Canada. I got both my co-hosts in the house today. Seth, Mando, what's up, y'all? Good morning.
GM guys.
Yo. Ovi is back. Mando, you're just on mute here on the thing, but there you go. Boom. What's up?
GM.
How you doing? We'll get you up.
I'm great, man. Great. It's actually raining today for the first time in a long time in Lisbon. So
You jinxed it.
I know.
You jinxed it. Last week you made fun of how sunny it was for you and like very gray, cold, snowy all week for me. And today I get a little bit of sunshine. I think I deserve it. It's been chilly here. Ovi's camera always cracks me up, and is in his little room over here.
It looks better though now, right? I don't know what you did, but
it's the
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Is fixed now, right?
I think Restream genuinely is the worst product we've ever used. Like it got us somewhere, but it didn't really get us everywhere that we wanted to go.
That room really looks beautiful now in HD.
Yeah,
it's really well put together.
There's one more item in there now. There's a skateboard. It's not even. Look at this.
You definitely designed that room.
Yo, this comment just killed me, bro.
Who's the third person up here?
Who is the third person? So Lander on YouTube, by the way, we are live as usual, fam, on YouTube as well. But who's the third person? I've been there the whole week and had not seen him. That is so funny, Lander.
You've been here for a year and we haven't seen him.
He just can't even say it. He's joking. Oh my God, Mando, that's so funny. So I'm gonna upload the link to the. I'm gonna upload the link to the YouTube. We're live on YouTube as usual. We've been doing this for the last week. You can just go on Rug Radio YouTube and you can find us right there live every show. And then every show gets cut up into different segments and whatnot. We even get some background noise by our fourth host today. Super glad to introduce to you. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine if the kid comes up with the camera. Imagine. So a few words for the crowd. Oh my God.
She's getting louder. She's definitely getting louder.
I love that. I think it's cute. I think it's super cute mid-show. Like when there's kid, like there's a bunch of, I think on the Nick and Peel show, it's Bunny who also has a kid in the background here and there. It's a lot of different show. It's like we're growing with the space and like families get bigger. Look at this beautiful, cute story. Isn't it so beautiful? But anyways, today on the show. Today, packed show. Lots of stuff actually going down in the space over the last week, over the weekend. Lots of news came out and whatnot. So today on the show, today, DGen's market report as usual, crypto, macro, and NFTs. What to look out for in macro? That comes off of I saw you post a thread, Mando. I think it was Saturday or Friday. I forgot, but I figured we'd add that in. Yuga Labs 12-fold auction started yesterday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken, on as Bitcoin Ordinals, ends later today. So we're going to be chatting about that, maybe see where that ends up at. And then, of course, the big news on the tech side from ETH Denver again, of course, came from ERP-4337. So we're going to be talking about that and its importance. And of course, I'm glad you added that, Mando. Dr. Disrespect doubles down on blockchain gaming. He had this like epic reply. I think it was Friday or Saturday to someone who was like anti-gaming, and I just remembered after you added it in. So I thought that was really funny and a good one. And then of course, as usual, our show is sponsored by Fair.xyz, and who are this month's sponsor. No-code platform lets creators launch NFT collections complete end-to-end. You've had them on the show last week. It was a great episode. I highly recommend listening to the show we had with the Isaacs, both of them, the co-founders. It was a fun one. And tomorrow, actually, the allow list opens up for their Mint for Change drop, which we talked about briefly. But what's really cool about it is that it's a drop of 40 plus female artists and allies collaborating for International Women's Day. There's some incredible art in there. I think we mentioned that when they told us Camilla was part of it. That's when we were talking about it last week. So it's people like Alison Harvard, Amber Park, Anna Isabel, Camila Noguera. I mean, there's so many. It's 40. I'd read all the names. But Ina Moja's in there. We're big Ina fans. Lana Denina. Like, there's just so many like cool artists. I have the whole list in front of me right now. I'm looking at it. But Perrin, big fan of Perrin, of course. That's my person sis right there. But anyways, so that's tomorrow is gonna have their the allow list. So we're gonna pin it at the top actually. Shortly, I'll put it at the top for anybody who wants to participate and partake in this. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Daily Market Report, brought to you by Rug Radio. Joseph, what's the word?
Hey guys, so look, traditional markets are strong. We had a decent rally on Friday. Stocks were up 1.62%. We're up another 0.51% again today. So pretty strong backdrop in traditional markets. Interest rates have actually seen a big rally also over the last couple of days. If you saw Mando's tweet, one of the charts there showed that US Treasuries have seen the highest short interest they've actually seen in the history of time. So I think it's definitely a technical move that's causing this market rally. And today's a bit. This week is a big week. We get the payrolls number on Friday. I did see an early consensus number for that, which actually shows that the non-farm payrolls is actually meant to be a negative number this month. I think it's maybe a little bit too early for consensus, but maybe that's another reason why we rallied. Like, some banks are actually already forecasting a negative number, and that's versus that massive 517K number we saw last month. So maybe that's another reason for the rally. I think the market is very short right now, at least in interest rates, and that's another reason why we're seeing this technical squeeze. But traditional stuff is strong. Crypto is lagging for sure. ETH is still 1570, Bitcoin is still 22.4K, so we're unchanged there. Altcoins got killed over the weekend. They bounced maybe a tiny bit here, but once again we're seeing the correlation between crypto and traditional markets not be there or not exist for now, at least. That's kind of it, really.
Damn, we missed this. Come on, dude. Dude, he does get his 10 minutes a day, Mando, but they're 10 solid minutes. I mean, come on, I mean, it's more like 5 minutes.
10 minutes? Is that
Sorry, it was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes. So let me use him for the next 7 minutes I have. It's one of those people on the clock. So let me just use him for 7 more minutes, and then I'm going to go to you, and I can carry the show. Ovi, you left off on this decorrelation, so decoupling in a way, which the topic came up a bit last week. I think, Mando, you were talking about this a bit, how the crypto market and the financial markets are not quite following one another. Is there a reason for that? What's behind that, Ovi?
I just think you had the Silvergate thing. You had the stablecoin stuff in the background. I think you had all these Wells notice rumors by the SEC. So it seems like there's crypto-specific issues right now, which is preventing it from rallying. And that is weighing on the market more than whatever's going on in macro. I think that would be my explanation for it.
Yeah,
but it was decoupled even when crypto was macro was selling off. Though all of February, macro sold off and crypto didn't really do anything. And now we've got the opposite. You see macro bouncing, and crypto's been selling off. It's a strange period right now. They're decoupling on the way up and on the way down. It's almost like inverse at the moment.
Isn't that good? Isn't that what we want, or no?
I think you just want up.
We just wanted to go up, if I'm honest. But
I think we just want up. Yeah, looks like ETH is 1570. What's Bitcoin at? 22.4. It's still, still pretty strong prices. I'll take those prices over the prices that we were given and presented, a few months back. Big crash last week, right? A whole $70 down to 1570. We're really down horrendous here in crypto. I will no longer take it when the Border Patrol agent tells me, "Oh, you're in NFTs or crypto. How's it going now?" I'll be like, "Well, how's your dollar doing? Huh? How's your dollar doing?" I'm pretty sure it's doing worse than us. So, Mando, you posted this good thread. I might as well go to it now since we're already on the topic of macros. And of course, on top of that, we did have Raul come on last week. Ovi, if you were not aware, we had Raul Powell on the show last week. Our dear friend who was actually a big fan of you, but too bad you couldn't be here, though you are collaborating as well in this drop. But it's guilt tripping. But he was again talking about the importance of macros and how everything's more tied up together. That's something you guys have been saying for a long time on the show, actually, pretty much every morning. When that's why you do the report like that. But Mando, do you want to break this down for us? Like you put the thread out about few macro charts to be aware of. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Look, it wasn't necessarily meant to be a bearish thread, but it definitely does come away being bearish when you start looking at all the different things that are happening. I guess the point is that macro looks like it's not really out of the woods just yet, not by a long way. Firstly, the main thing driving everything is the interest rates. It's what Obi just said, like it's rates. Right now, people are betting that rates are going to continue to go higher at the highest level they've ever done that. Which in some ways I would like to take the other side of that. When people are like when everyone's betting one way, you kind of want to take the other side of it, and that's what you're seeing today. It feels like interest rates are coming off the highs, and I think it's interest rates are kind of good to put money into. Like if you put your money into a savings account, I've heard that in the US you can get, particularly for high net worth people, you can get something like 6.5% just in bank savings, which is just kind of crazy at the moment. And for a lot of savings accounts, it's around 5. I think maybe even the Marcus account with Goldman Sachs is something like 5 something. It's just high. You can get very high savings, and a lot of people will choose to put their money in there. The market right now is predicting that we're going to go quite a bit higher in interest rates, that the Fed will go all the way to 5.5% roughly, which is another 3 or 4 increases in rates from here. We're at 4.75, so I guess another 3 increases in rates. So we're coming from a position here where the market continues to think that the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. That's a bit of a swing over the last 2 months. Remember at the start of the month, we were like, the market is betting that the Fed is not going to raise rates. It's done a 180, and now thinks it's going to raise rates even more than maybe even the Fed is saying. At the same time, it looks increasingly like there are some worries in 2 of the main risk assets which people put their money in away from crypto. The first one is stocks. So right now you're seeing earnings quality, which is it's a measure of cash flow versus income. And often corporates, when they report earnings, they can adjust out a bunch of stuff, and they can show a very different figure than the actual money that's hitting the bank account. We call that earnings quality, and the earnings quality is at the lowest level it's been in 30 years. As in, people are basically cooking the books, posting fake numbers.
No way.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's been going on for a while, but it's gotten a lot worse over the last 2 years. There's been huge adjustments
Earnings quality
to these earnings during COVID, and so tons and tons of people are reporting one figure as their earnings, and actually the actual cash that's in the bank account is way worse. So that's a very worrying trend that's happened over the last 12 months. And then you're also seeing the most amount of earnings downgrades at the moment. So increasingly the stock market's looking fragile to me. And the other big one is the housing market. So the housing market looks in a really tough spot. So housing is the most unaffordable it's ever been, even before 2008. And this is at a time where interest rates are rising rapidly, right? We're talking about 5.5% the market's predicting. And at the same time, you're now seeing sales of new homes starting to fall significantly. So I think the Dallas Fed came out last week and said that it thinks housing, US housing in particular, could drop 20% from where it is right now. Now, and then the final thing was that both credit card debt and credit card delinquencies are at the highest level they've been in 20 years. So people put on a ton of credit card debt over the last 12 months. So when inflation started to hurt people put on a lot of credit card debt. which again, interest rates are going to hurt. And you started to see delinquencies grow very rapidly. That was, no one actually noticed this, but there was meant to be 7. I missed out chart number 7. The 7th was meant to be credit card delinquencies. But it basically paints a picture where a lot of risk assets don't look great right now.
That's not great.
Now, I think crypto and AI actually present two of the best, I don't know, medium-term solutions to this. And it's quite easy to be inside our own bubble. It's an echo chamber that we all think everything's going to go up. But there is some genuine truth to it. That there's a huge amount of funding going into both crypto and AI right now as the two like beacons of innovation, let's say, going on in the US.
Mm-hmm.
AI has really picked up the mantle, I think, from Web3.
I think a lot of people are moving from Web3 into AI, right?
There's a couple I've seen over the last 24 hours. But the funding is wild. Like everyone's trying to fund AI startups on the back of OpenAI, and you're still getting funding in Web3. But so I guess what these charts were meant to show is that macro's still in a pretty tough spot. If I was to choose anything to put my money into right now, it would probably be government bonds, just given how everything's positioned, right? Rather than stocks or housing or anything else. And I guess our bet with crypto is that it becomes part of the solution and does start to decouple even more to a certain extent than macro. And I guess the second point is that this isn't a V-shaped recovery sort of play. With that sort of backdrop across macro, I think what we can kind of hope for with crypto is that we outperform, we do better than expected, we do better than other risk assets. But that moonshot to like 5K in ETH or 70K in Bitcoin, you just don't get that with where stuff is across the board. So I guess it was also just a point of view that we're in a get rich slow again environment, I think, rather than a get rich quick environment. And just this is probably we're going to probably have to show some patience with crypto here.
I think your mic is grainy, but we heard everything and we definitely understood it.
Already?
But it just happened in the last second. I don't know why. Obi's smiling. Obi's got that little smirk on his face.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to be a dick. But.
It's not being a dick. I mean, we're live. And by the way, for those of you who are listening on Twitter Spaces, we're also live on YouTube. We run all the shows every morning now.
Were you guys talking on the side? Was that
No, we're not. I wrote in the private chat here, actually, that you have access to.
Not this time.
Wait. There's only 4 people in that private chat. Us 3 and Jazz, who's right down there in the producer seat. So. Yeah, see, I was cracking a bit. See, even Golden said so. See, when it comes from Golden, it's fine. But if Farouk, God forbid, Farouk or Ovi say something. I'm just playing with you. Someone said Mike is wrecked as usual. And by the way, if you're listening on YouTube, by the way, I pinned at the top the thread that Manda was just breaking down for us, chart by chart. So you can definitely check it out. Also pinned at the top is the link to YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. No, clearly, actually, I am mistaken. It's not pinned. Now it is. You're seeing it in a minute if you're in the audience on Twitter. So come see us there. We share the screen every morning and talk about a bunch of stuff. And also going to pin, of course, the allow list for the fair drop that I was just talking about as well. So that's if you're looking on Twitter. If you're on YouTube, fam, do one thing. I'm going to go the whole YouTuber route. I did my research. Like, comment, subscribe. All right? I got told to tell people to drive likes to the YouTube feed if you're liking it. So I love the comments. I'm reading them live. I share them on the Jumbotron all the time when people are commenting here. I just pinned the fair XYZ thing as well. But definitely give us some likes. Give us some subscriptions. Preference. I
love how you're a YouTube influencer now.
Yeah,
we can get you in the thumbnails. There's a new one.
Yeah, you sound like you're literally come from like outer space. Like literally sounds like you're like coming into as a UFO and you're trying to. I've been watching The Last of Us too, so maybe it doesn't help with my post-apocalyptic vibes. Have you guys? Ovi, did you watch The Last of Us? Do you know that show?
I've not. I've heard it's good, but I've not seen it.
Never had a show have such an impact on my sleep That
God.
thing literally
In
gave
a
me
bad way?
nightmares. Yeah, like you know what? The thing is, I kept watching it to the very end, so I just finished wherever we're at now. But genuinely, I could say 2 or 3 nights. I had some really weird, nightmares, and it's definitely because of The Last of Us. I don't know. Some things about it. I love the comments, dude. Mando's a treacher at heart. And someone said another. I love the Rektguys, how they show up like that. Mando's mic is wrecked. Haha. They're such your own holders. I can't believe it. Look at that.
I mean,
Anyways,
it's a good mic, isn't
no.
it? Or is it just
Oh, God, it's getting worse.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to hit that. Definitely even come back.
Maybe check your
Connection. I think it's the cable. It has to get cable wise. It's so weird. It's never happened before, and your mic is really good. It's true. You have the best mic because we all have the same mic. So I can definitely. Yo, by the way, Ovi, you missed it, but last week someone said I'm like a typical Persian taxi driver with my eye just like rolling out of the mic like that. I thought it was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. And Burn Dog cashes out 10 million, still has a bad mic. Hey, Burn Dog, don't talk like that. I don't think it's the mic the issue. It must be the in the back. Sometimes if it's not connected right, but that's what it sounds like. But anyways, besides that, we're all good. We're gonna keep going.
I love these comments on the video. They're just hilarious.
I know it's
This is like added a whole new
There you go.
dimension to the show.
Oh man, now we just can't hear you. But it's funny to see your lips move. And then
is it any better?
No. That's so weird. No, I haven't heard that one yet. Listen, maybe you'll have to get off the roadcaster for a second here. But anyways, okay, we've talked about trad markets. We've talked about banks, all that shit. I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to talk about my favorite thing. I want to talk about NFTs.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Let's try it. He's scared of talking. No, you're muted on here now. He's scared of talking. Look, he's just.
I mean,
Yes! Let's go. Run it, baby. NFTs.
is it any better?
It's perfect.
That seemed like a really silly point to like transition to me just by myself.
We go with the show. The show goes on. The show goes on.
Transition to me if my mic is gone.
The show goes on, baby. Your mic is working now, though. Talk to us. What the fuck is happening in NFT land? I feel like I missed some other meta this weekend or whatever because I was disconnected. I feel like a million things happened.
Yeah, look, things haven't looked that amazing, I would guess, in NFTs still. The main thing was the owls. I don't know if you guys minted any of those. No. Well, that was a big move. I think on Friday or Friday night it minted out, and I'm not sure if it was a free mint or a 0.00 whatever mint.
It was a free mint.
What do you say?
It was a free mint.
It was a free mint.
Yeah.
Now it's trading at 0.34. That seemed to have like the meta, this like style. Maybe we should bring them up on screen so people can see how they look.
Oh yeah, hold on, let me find them. Let me pull them up. So it's crazy. So the meta this weekend was ASCii. Do you say ASCii or ASCii? ASCii art? ASCii? ASCii? You say ASCii though? But wait, let me ask you something. ASCii, that's ASCii in any language. S and C, right? It's only in America that like it's ASCii.
What is it? What is it? Sorry, say it again.
Killer Guardians. ASCii. ASCii, like an ASCii. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ASCii. So let's see. Okay. ASCii art was the meta this weekend. So there you go. There it is. There you go, Mando. What if this was the birds we were supposed to buy this entire time?
It does feel that way. Yeah, it does feel that way. And then look across the board, everything just seems to be slightly lower, I would say, or at least not big moves. Bored Apes still seem to be holding up okay. The focus there is definitely on the Yuga Ordinals mint, which is happening. Kind of the bids are happening as we speak, right? Yep. I think people are bidding. They don't seem as high as I thought they would be, but
the thing is, auctions are last minute thing. I feel like this is the type of thing that's gonna pop. Like, I feel like they pop, in the back nine.
Yeah, exactly. People bid. It only rematters where it ends rather than where it starts.
Oh, you like my golf little golf analogy in the back nine? You didn't even hear it. He's out of it. Anyways,
I'm listening.
let's go. What were we talking about? NFTs. DJ's finance. NFTs. Music NFTs. So what else is popping? I feel like there's nothing, and even the summoning was pushed a little bit, right? So that's pushed.
Summoning was pushed a week.
Summoning was pushed, yeah.
Which is it before or after the big unlock? It's just before the big
token unlock. Token unlock, yeah.
That's something to be aware of if you're involved in ApeCoin. There's a big token unlock for the VCs, so be aware. But other than that, like if you go on the 7-day chart, it's definitely not been as strong for NFTs over the last week or so. Most things are down. I would say 3 to 5%. CloneX 4.5 now.
No way.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude.
Jeez.
That is wow.
Ugh.
Holy shit.
That is big question is when do owls flip moonbirds?
Dude, the owls are the collectors, PFP. So what are clones? That's crazy. That I'm trying to pull up the OpenSea chart about CloneX here. The OpenSea chart, but the OpenSea. Wow, 4.5 ETH on here. That's wild. That's actually pretty wild. But not the thing is, I don't think the market's feeling very delicate at the moment. Like I know there's a lot of stuff happening always in the space, and of course we'll talk about EIP and all that stuff. And there's a 12-fold by Yuga today. There's always stuff happening, and there's this new thing popping up, but the market is not doing well. Like I don't know. I'm not feeling doomerish because I think there's a lot of really cool stuff happening and a lot of projects are doing dope shit that I'm excited on. Always super bullish on that. But the market, like if we're just gonna talk market, I don't know. It's not giving me the best vibes right here. I don't know about you guys, but things are failing to pop. There's this liquidity thing all the time with both sides, people farming, people not farming, people putting bids, not putting bids. If a new project comes out and does well, immediately people want the liquidity because the market is doing shit. So it's really hard to win in this environment at the moment if you're short-term trading, in my opinion. I have a hard time thinking a lot of traders are making money right now in the space.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't, apart from the owls and I guess the checks move. You haven't really seen any big moves higher throughout the whole year, right? Everything's just drifted slightly lower. I guess Bored Apes moved slightly higher, maybe year to date, but most things have just kind of drifted slightly. It's tough. I look across this, and I do look across the majority of the top communities, and I wonder how many people are actually having fun in these communities right now. I put it out earlier, and it does feel like there's just a lot of bitterness in a lot of the communities right now, and there's it's just not the same level of fun I think as maybe it has been. There are some notable exceptions, but I do look across the top 20, top 30 collections, and I do think that needs to kind of come back. I think maybe utility expectations have kind of, I wouldn't say that they're definitely not over, but the concept, everyone had these dreams 12 months ago, right? Of they're going to come up with this crazy, these were going to be the Amazons and the Apples of the future, to come up with some crazy SaaS tool or some community tool or new tech. And it does feel like some of those have died a pretty horrific death. And that's through no fault of really the projects themselves, apart from maybe leading people down the wrong paths. But I do think that there is still that feeling across the board. There's just a few notable exceptions where it doesn't feel like that. And maybe we need to this is just the maturing of the market, and the next stage will be an exception, accepting that not to believe into all these promises and stuff, or not even promises, but hype.
I just scrolled down all the way through DGens, right? I was just like so curious to see where a lot of projects are. So I just showed like I was trying to think the top 200 about. Nothing seems to be catching on right now. Like you're saying, like even like Doodle's at 5.2, Moonbird's at 6, Clones broke under 5. You know, besides Checks and OPEPN, which are doing good because there's a whole Jack Butcher meta, and Jack Butcher's still crushing it out here, and he's having fun with it. And there's fun is there right now. They're having fun. When you look at them, like the people in the Checks community, they're having a lot of fun, right? And they're enjoying the whole, like, imagine there's nothing else going on. Jack Butcher has like, yo, I have this fun thing going on. People are vibing with it. He's having fun with the metadata. He's fucking around with the NFTs. People are having a blast, right? So like, if anything, like they're having fun. But you're right. Like there's not much else going on anywhere else. And the prices are failing to maintain that. Look, it happens for our own NFTs, right? I've been looking at our Rugredo's assets. I've been looking at you guys' assets. Like I've been looking around at everybody else's stuff because obviously we're here 5 days a week talking about the market. And it's just like, no matter how much you do in this market and no matter how big of an event can happen, you still won't see the giga pumps. Like you still can't catch any of that because there's going to be net sellers and there's not many people trading. And I think that's one of those cases where like, I'm just telling myself, I'm just putting my head down. I'm going to grind. I'm going to keep building what I got to build and fuck it. Like, and then the market will follow in 6 months and 12 months. And oh shit, hold on. My whole camera just broke down. My monitor in front of me.
I think Rug Radio and maybe even DGens is slightly different. Like they're businesses, right? Like they have products where they feel more like business, like a Web3 media service works like that. But I think if you're building just a profile picture project, let's say a profile picture project plus, like maybe you're offering some levels of, you know, you can do this with it or that with it. People have just got to return to the fun rather than, and maybe that is a utility in itself, but you're right, Jack Butcher's having fun with it. And that's maybe been one of the biggest changes I feel like at the start of this year is that people are more likely to engage with just fun, attention-grabbing things or fun, just someone who feels like they're having fun with it, rather than this promise of, right, we're going to, you know, there's going to be an equal profit share of this SaaS tool that we've got coming out into. It's like, no. I like to think that Rektguys in a good spot there in terms of like people still having fun, and I think still people are still having fun like the CryptoPunks and the Bored Apes and maybe even the generative art community. It does feel like
those communities are thriving.
That's never really left. But
notable Pepe's. I know, Ovi, you posted your full set. It sounds like you're actually having fun. Like you make a thing every Sunday. I missed it again, but like it's part of your routine, no?
Just fun, man. Yeah, it's just like collecting frogs and stuff.
Dude, I love those. I gotta share them. So take us through give us your notable Pepe thesis. Because last week I went on a bender and I bought all of them. Now it feels like I definitely gotta add up all the ones I missed in here. But I just bought all of them that I could. They're all down at the top. They're all down by 50%. All the ones I have. And I'm totally fine with that because it's frogs and frogs will do really good over time. I'm fine with that. But take us through your thesis and bullish thesis here, Ovi, because you're quite the guy. If I saw your screenshot right, you have like 3,000 Pepe checks.
I've got a lot of them. It's not like I wouldn't necessarily say it's like I have a bullish thesis on this and I think I'm going to make loads of money, but I really like Pepe art, like a lot of people out there, and a lot of these artists are OG rare Pepe artists. And for me, like collecting it on Counterparty is a bit of a hurdle. Like I have a lot of things to do. It's just like annoying to bridge back and forth. And I just love for like add to cart.
It's my soft spot. It's my soft spot. It's the frogs. Literally like, it's my soft spot, bro. Like
it is, yeah. So this is basically rare Pepe.
I buy a frog. You know, I fucking love the frogs.
So this is now rare Pepe / fake rares, whatever you want to say, on Ethereum, and there's already been some amazing artists there. It's just like, I don't know. For me, it's just one of those things. Like I like collecting the stuff. I want to own it. And,
can you hear Mado? Like Mado vicariously typing here. Farouk, buy my collection of found photos of Mando's earlobes.
Hey, we gotta pull these up. Send us the link. I wanna see this collection.
Are they
of Mando
ordinals?
earlobes.
Yeah, Bitcoin Mando earlobe ordinals. The first collection of ordinals. Sorry. Okay. Oh, that's a Rayler Adams piece. Sick. Anyways, go on. Ovi, you were saying before we got
That's it. That's it. So if you own the checks, it gives you a raffle into being able to mint each new piece, and the drops are all priced at 0.069. So some of them you make money on, some of them. So, I'm sorry. These comments are just crushing me.
It's tough to do video and audio because you see the comments on YouTube.
When did this start?
Where does the obsession for Mando's earlobe start on GM Web3?
You can't even see them. They're covered by his headphones.
We've only been doing this show on YouTube for a week now. And
wait, can you take your headphones off just and move your ears close to the camera so we can have a look?
No, this isn't like I'm not an earlobe guy, like
I just want to have a look.
A cam earlobe guy.
This Noah guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. I just want to have a little look.
When are we? Hold on, Mando. Can you please?
Here we go. Yeah.
There you go, Mando. Oh!
Whoa.
Wow! Oh my God! I'm literally. Oh my God!
What man loves?
I'm sorry, everyone. I need a second. Oh my God. I'm literally
It started like on Wednesday. It's just been going ever since.
It started on Wednesday.
It started on Wednesday.
It started happening in the comments.
It's fire.
Oh.
God, I can't even read out some of
the
these
numbers doubled on YouTube when we talked about the earlobes. There's 60 people. Oh.
When Mando lobes.
Oh my God.
This is gonna keep getting me as we watch this.
If you're only listening to audio on this, I really recommend getting onto YouTube and reading the comments because they're fucking hilarious.
Anyone mint the trippy Mando lobes yet? Hold on. This is the best one. He said, "Golden glow." You can't see my earlobes in general because I have hair, but I need to take the headphones off first.
Call Corey and get the drawing ASAP.
Just derailed the whole show.
Now I realize Rektguys doesn't show earlobes. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, everyone on audio right now on Twitter. You gotta give us a second, or just come on YouTube. I need a minute to breathe. This
is gonna happen. I can't control it now. It's its own thing.
Only lobes.
I will buy all your Mando lobes under 69 ETH right now. Then fuck off.
When lobe list. All right, so we're back on the show. We got 69 people live on audio, on video. That's where you want to come. We got Mando on the jumbotron. I'm literally dizzy.
I don't know where we were.
Allow bliss.
Oh my God! Hold on. Sorry, everyone.
Noah, you gotta launch this.
Noah,
this is yours.
Do an ASCii lobes of 10,000 free Mando lobe list. Okay, I will mint it. Oh my God!
On change, first earlobes on change.
Someone said this is a low blow. Oh my God. Okay. So morning show, episode like 250. Yes.
Where were we?
We were on the morning show every day, boys.
Yeah.
Macro. Oh, by the way, today's code. Oh.
I can't do this anymore. I just
He said I lobe the show.
Noah's still the most out of pocket about it.
My stomach hurts.
Can you guys guess what the code today is going to be for claiming the code?
We've got to change it. It's got to be Lobes. They haven't even been on show. They've just been under my headphones the whole time. I don't even know how to start.
I've never had all three of us bug in the middle of a show like this before. And we've hosted over 200 episodes of GM Web3.
Just get off your French Canadian ass and really scam my Lobes.
Someone asked how they fit in there. I'm really curious. How do they fit?
It just feels like weirdly sexual that I would take these off at this stage.
So for those of you on the chat, for those of you who are in the for those of you who are on
you know what we need to show everyone in this chat, that photo of Mando when he's like 3 years old. They'll go absolutely wild. Yes.
So everybody, we're here.
We have to.
Someone said, Chad Michael said, definitely hiding some pretty lobes under the headset. Stop teasing.
How are we going to do this?
Yuga Lobes. Let's launch Yuga Lobes. Canary Lobes. We're going to rebrand Canary Lobes. We're going to rebrand to Canary Lobes.
Canary Lobes, for sure.
Mando looks lobely. All right. Okay. Let's get back. Okay. Hold on. I got to stretch out my legs. Okay. It's only 11:20. We haven't even made it halfway through the show yet. We're just halfway through the show. We're definitely going to do some lobe staking. Okay.
Let's talk about something really boring.
Huh?
Let's talk about EIP-4337.
Okay, let's talk about something boring.
It'll change stuff to being really dull.
Yeah. Okay, so
Obi, do you want to talk about it?
I'm definitely not jealous that we're talking about my lobes. I'm genuinely happy that we're talking about Mando's lobes. Lobe Island. Oh my god! All right. So, anyways, All right, we're back. So NFTs. Anyways. So that's about it for the market report that went a lot over time. Thank you for the incredible, notable Pepe breakdown. Ovi definitely was full of alpha and a lot of good information that you definitely gave us about those. Thank you so much for helping us out on this. So Drake memes, feed pics down, Mando lobes up. Oh yeah, definitely. Feed pics are out of style now. It's called lobes, earlobes, Mando lobes. Those are the alpha right now. Wow, this show took a turn. Okay. We got a lot more people on YouTube as well now. So make sure you're subscribing to the Rug Radio YouTube immediately. And make sure you like. If you like Mando's lobes, 1 subscribe equals 1 Mando lobe. So for every time we hit a subscriber, Mando's going to have to show his lobes for 1 more second. Okay, so if we get 10,000 subscribers, that's 10,000 seconds of earlobes by Mando.
Turned into?
And so anyways, we're back on this. 12-fold. Let's talk about the Yuga auction. That we quickly mentioned it.
Why not?
We quickly mentioned it, and that's kind of what we want to talk about today. I know you and I were chatting about it early on. What do you guys think here? Actually, Ovi, I'm going to go to you first because I'm curious your thoughts in general, because we talked about it quickly us with Mando last week, but what's your general thoughts on Yuga inscribing 288 ordinals with the generative art vibe and all that stuff? And then what do you think the closing, the lowest bid is going to close at? We're at 0.11 Bitcoin right now is the lowest bid. But what do you guys think about that?
I just think it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Like, it's not like it's Claire Silver doing a generative art thing on with Ordinals or Orkan or Tyler Hobbs, one of these other like big AI artists. It's a bit of a weird one for Yuga Labs, the creator of Bored Ape Yacht Club and everything they're doing with Other Side, to do this. I don't know. Maybe they just want to have an imprint on it, and they thought it was a nice way to do it. I don't know, but I find it a bit strange. I find it curious who wants to buy it as well. I'm not really sure. Like,
I'll buy it. I have my budget. I will.
I'd rather buy Yuga Labs on
Let's fucking put a lobe on the Ordinals.
But so why would you buy it for it? Like, who's the artist? But who's the actual artist?
So yesterday he came out. He put a video. So Figgy is actually the person who worked on this. He's the founder of ThinkETF.
Would he not want to do it under his own name? Like,
it's pretty cool. The beat was made by Illa, by the way.
It's a cool beat.
I think, like, personally speaking, I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think you guys are trying to do something different and show that they're a crypto, like an NFT company, and do different things. They're definitely going the autoglyphs route with this. I think this is the closest example to it, right? With Larva, that launched autoglyphs as their first project. It's 300 of the first ever generative art on chain, which obviously now sells for, I think one sold for 400 grand last week again. But it's been pretty impressive. Mando, why did you take a lobe out?
Oh, sorry.
But I think. Look, regardless of the art, that's I guess that's people's opinions. But I think like there's something to it, like them trying to inscribe like art on Bitcoin. I think it's a bigger deal for Bitcoin than anything. I was talking to Udi about it last night. Just curious, like I was like, from his front, I'm like, what do you think about this? Of course, Udi loves it because definitely popping his bags and helping all the revolution that he's been causing on Bitcoin blockchain by splitting Bitcoiners in two. His ancestors parted the sea, and he's parting the Bitcoin blockchain community. But besides that, I think it's interesting that they're doing this. Someone just asked if Figgy would put this out solo, would it capture the same price point? No, I don't think so. Actually, of course, this is because it's a Yuga Labs initiative, and it was marketed as Yuga Labs first, and then Figgy came out and posted a video second, which they shared, of course. But I think I'm a fan of the Ordinals and everything that's happened on there. I don't have any yet, as a matter of fact. So I'm not talking bags here. But I did host this space with Udi 2 weeks ago, and the founder of the Bitcoin Wizard, when he, the original meme creator, if anything, that he was launching his first Ordinals. And I really took time to like listen to them both for an hour and like ask them a bunch of questions about that and the movement. Like there is like this obviously Bitcoin culture is big. And so, I mean, I'm bullish on Pipis for a reason too, but it's, I don't know. I think it's cool that like they're embracing that and doing it. Top bid is 2 Bitcoin right now. The number one here. It's like about 50 grand, right? Around there. What's too big? It's like 30 ETH. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's around 30 ETH right now. So I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting, but I get what you're saying. Man, what do you think?
I mean, I can't agree with Obi. I can't agree with you.
No. But yo, damn, that Mando is back. I think the earlobes really, you really got him there with the earlobes on the show, ladies.
How's it now?
Okay, you're good. I think you figured it out.
I said I kind of agree with Obi, and I kind of agree with you. Like, I think this isn't great. Well, this is not always great. It's a bit strange, but at the same time, I can see why they're doing it, and I think it's. I think it will probably go well. It's one of those ones where I can see it trading out like 2 or 3x. Like what you told me before this show that whatever you wasn't an allow list to mint something in the future,
dude. So there's a allow list for like the Bitcoin wizards going BTS like 0.5 Bitcoin a pop, right? And that's just to have a chance to like mint the thing, right? And you're seeing all the hype around Taproot Wizards and Udi and how they've done it. There is a market over there. We've seen literally the Bitcoin punks, okay, which were trading for a crazy amount and even up so much, and they're not even official from they're owned by Yuga or whatever. They're not even official from Yuga or Larva or anything for the matter. You're talking about a project, like literally the Bitcoin punks are pumping on Bitcoin, but now Yuga Labs, the company that owns the actual crypto punks, is doing inscriptions. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I 0.1 Bitcoin, you know, it's kind of an obvious play here. But that's for people who you know, depends on people here. But I don't know. I just think like this is gonna go much higher. I wouldn't be surprised if this closes, honestly. And I put a poll out yesterday, a tweet out. I'm gonna see what people think. But I personally think this closes at 1 Bitcoin minimum. Right now, the minimum bid is 0.11 Bitcoin. But what do you guys think? Would be the closing like for all 288? Like, what would be the lowest bid?
Half a Bitcoin, maybe. I can see this going.
Half a Bitcoin, you think it's going to be the lowest bid? Wow.
Well, I mean,
half a Bitcoin is like.
How many of them are there again? How many of them are there?
There's 288. Look, QQL Fidenza. Now, I know you don't compare 12-fold.
That's really low.
Look,
yeah, QQL closed at
14.
Half a Bitcoin. Well, was it 3/4 of a Bitcoin?
I'm pretty sure it was 1 Bitcoin, all 1,000, 14 each.
Yeah. QQL is like Tyler Hobbs, right?
Of course. No, I know. I don't want to compare Tyler Hobbs to Figgy per se at Yuga, but like you're talking about a big brand trying to do this thing in inscriptions, and we know they're hyper on ordinals. We also know that Bitcoiners have a fuckload of money compared to ETH people. I think there's a big difference between the markets as well, and they're capturing different markets. So maybe they also want that one to go well.
Yeah, I can imagine it being around that sort of level. At least I can imagine it trading to that sort of level. So it's difficult to always say when an auction is going to close, particularly on ordinals, because it's very difficult to work out how people feel about the auction. And I've seen like some light FUD around how they're doing the auction, right? Which is
Casey went off. Casey,
yeah, not really light FUD, but like
Casey's funny.
They're basically taking custody of your Bitcoin before it happens, right? Which I kind of agree with Casey. And at the same time, I also think that we're very early in the build out of the technology here, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. Like if you actually had this much fun at the start of like Lava Labs on ETH, which was by all accounts seemingly a disaster at the start, like with the CryptoPunks, it feels as though maybe you're missing that, like the wood from the trees here. Like the fact that they're coming onto ordinals is quite a big deal. Yeah, the tech isn't great, and maybe the infrastructure around doing an auction like this isn't great right now. And what they've done perhaps isn't the most morally justifiable thing to have done. But I don't think they're like bad actors or anything like that.
I think, and I think Casey's a homie. He's coming on the show. He was actually our special guest a few weeks ago, which was amazing. And I saw his comments, and he usually listens to the show every day, so he's probably going to hear this out. But I think, I know the Bitcoin community is hardcore about there's a certain way that they want things done. And that, look, I don't disagree, but I also think like maybe that's just Yuga trying to test shit, So I think it's like, it's a plus, like it's literally a plus for that ecosystem more than is a negative. Like, all the attention right now this week is going to be on this. Like all the rest of the day today, because it's until 3 p.m. Pacific, right? The block right before that, so it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. The whole focus today is going to be on 12-fold and how Yuga Labs performs as Bitcoin ordinals. And what happens after that is the better they do, the more the other communities. Like you think maybe Azuki won't be inspired. I'm not saying they will, but they did this famous skateboard auction. Do they end up doing like another luxury item on Bitcoin? Do they end up like, does other brands and companies end up doing something similar as well and selling NFTs on there and moving communities there? I mean, we saw hold on. No. We saw, hold on. Oh, sorry. We saw, DGOS do something on there. We saw Wob with the Sappy Seals do ordinals already on there. We saw now Yuga Labs entering doing stuff there. So it'll be interesting to see, what other people do after that. So that's my thoughts here. After that, whether they do it in the spirit of, Bitcoinism and everything else, that was another conversation. But I don't know. I feel like there's no way and nowhere where this is not worth something down the line if Bitcoin ordinals do well, given what Yuga Labs is right now in the space.
Yeah, look, I think this might just be the start of what will be a series of, I don't know, very aghast Bitcoiners about how the NFT space works, because they're kind of very different, right? The NFT space is quite centralized often. It's like teams coming on and doing some sort of commercial activity, and the Bitcoin space is like not like that at all. It's all decentralization and permissionless and all this sort of stuff. And maybe I can see this happening time and time again. If Ordinals is set to take a large share of like the NFT space, then this is going to keep on happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's this good thread. I mean, I know people were asking about the artist last week because I didn't realize that actually there's a thread that followed here. I guess Twitter kind of like cut it out. And so Figgy goes into like all the details of how this started off. He says, a little over a month ago, we fell into the rabbit hole of the Ordinals Discord. It felt like being around ETH in 2017 prior to the invention of the ERC-4337 standard. The Ordinal Theory Protocol created a framework for identifying individual Satoshis, the smallest individually identifiable units of a Bitcoin, by tracing back when the Satoshi was minted in time. That got us thinking about a collection of ordinal inscriptions that would explore the relationship between time, mathematics, and the blockchain. He's definitely good at storytelling, that MFer, by the way. Figgy's pretty good. I mean, if you guys don't know Figgy, he's the one who founded 10KTF, which is acquired by Yuga. But that's their forte over there. But reading this makes me even more excited about it. Look, I think this is gonna age well. Like there's a lot of FUD coming that route. That means it's gonna do really, really, really good. Like I'm telling you, like at 0.11 Bitcoin, I'm not fading that. That's literally what I'm gonna do after the show.
So how do you do it? How do you do it?
You got to make an Ordinals wallet, and I think there's like you got to make this. That's a whole thing on its own, right? So you got to go through all the steps. If someone has the best absolute resource, I'd rather share it than talk about it. So maybe you can DM me, or I can find a couple of retweets.
Do you have an Ordinals wallet?
No, I have to make mine actually. Finally, once and for all. So Udi sent me some good information on that. I'll post it on the tweet or if someone if someone there it is. There's a there you go. There was the link Udi had sent me. I think I'm gonna try and share it. But anyway, so you may have to make an Ordinals wallet, and it's actually all the stuff is on the Yuga FAQ page. They have an FAQ page here. Oh, there you go. And then it'll tell you over here, you can lose them. So you got to literally have them in an actual Ordinals wallet. And then to bid, it's pretty simple, actually. It's as simple as it can get. You just go on here, you literally put your bid in, and then you pay the Bitcoin. Like they stay in custody of your Bitcoin. And then that's what they were getting like some backlash about. Then they have to actually manually go and refund everybody. One by one that don't make it. That's what it was about. Was that how you guys holding custody of the Bitcoin? But it's Yuga Labs.
So is it going to be everyone gets the same thing, or is it generative rarity, or like are they going to look different? Like why would someone pay a lot for number one? Is it?
Let's see what Figgy explains it as here. He says every 12-fold piece will be inscribed onto a Satoshi with a SAT point ending in the number 12, and the postage associated with each inscription will be 12121. Satoshis that will be used, inscribed 12-fold, were sourced from a block mined by TerraPool, a Bitcoin mining pool exclusively powered by green energy. I'm not sure about that. About if it's going to be fully random, honestly, because I don't know how you do that on there, right?
No, I don't think it's going to be generated on. Oh, I guess it could be generated.
Can you? I guess you can.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the art is stored on chain, but I don't think you generate it on chain. No, I think that wouldn't happen. So I guess.
Interesting. So I'm looking through their FAQ right now, and I'm trying to read through it. All bids that use the same receiving address will be considered as one collective bid. I want to submit multiple bids. How do I increase? There's everything on there. There's some good FAQs there that explain everything, but I don't think it explains with regards to the art.
It feels like that's probably going to be the case. Like that you're going to maybe the number one is gonna get the most rare one. Or
It says, have the stats been inscribed? It says the inscription process will reflect the themes of the collection and is intended to be part of the experience. Once the inscribing is finished and the 12-fold inscriptions are transferred to the receiving addresses, we will publish a note on Yuga's official channels.
okay.
And they will be distributed. It says they will be sent following the... there you go. How will the inscriptions be distributed? The inscriptions will be sent following the leaderboard order, meaning the number 1 winning bid will receive 12-fold 1 out of 300. The number 2... Oh, okay. So you get like... they're paying the premium right now for the number... Right? So you see that?
But I mean, although I think that could be a big thing, surely, I mean, with most ETH collections, except when they're all the same thing, the number doesn't really matter as much, right? It's
Does
normally
it
some
not?
sort of...
I mean, so far in inscriptions, it's mattered. So far, like a lot of the ordinals hype, like not
for
hype,
ordinals,
but,
because
ordinals.
it's, you know,
Lower
it cares about
inscriptions.
the order that they are put
Yeah.
in. But like if you put an autoglyph, it doesn't really matter what number 1 autoglyph is. I mean, it might have some small difference, but like people know what the bear glyph is, for example, or if you Fidenza, you might know what the God Fidenza.
Exactly.
Like you don't know what Fidenza number 1 is. So I think that's slightly strange. I don't really know how. I don't know if I'd really care to get maybe the first one I care about. But would I care to get the 5th one over like a cooler looking 200th one? I just don't know.
I guess clearly the market right now thinks so. Actually, clearly someone thinks that there's value in that, and there's
well, that's how it's set up.
Yeah,
to be clear,
exactly.
like, I don't think that's necessarily how that's meant to be. But yeah,
I think someone believes that though. So clearly, someone has $50,000 to bet that, you know, that first one is more valuable, right? Because look,
you better hope it's the rarest, right? You better hope it looks the best.
I mean, look, there is clearly a gap, right? It jumps from 1.2 to 2 Bitcoin, or maybe someone said, "Fuck it, I'm putting a bid in. I don't care what happens. Like, I'll see at the end what happens there." But it's interesting. Look at the gaps here. There's a very few over 1 Bitcoin. Then it starts going lower, but you can like you guys are telling me that for this amount, you wouldn't try and get one of those?
Look, I'm probably gonna get involved. Why not?
Let's make wallets.
I don't know if I'm getting involved though because it's Yuga and because it's on ordinals. I don't know if I really love the art or anything like that. It just kind of looks like
I think that's why
TV
people are buying
screensaver.
Yeah,
What?
people are buying it for that, right? They're like, people know how Yuga operates, and maybe you buy one and it's going to make you loads of money because it'll give you access to more stuff. I don't know.
It looks like a TV advertisement. It shows you off their HD features of the new Samsung TV.
But you know what? Like, many people seem confused about if they're all different or not. Because someone in the comments saying they're all the same. Look at the image. It's signed 1 of 300, but I don't think so. It is signed 1 of 300, but that doesn't mean they're all the same.
I know, but like right now, they're basically what Yuga is implicitly saying is that the lower ordinal numbers will be the best, and that might not be the case at all if they're all different. Like people might buy very differently with some of the last ones. So.
I think they're all going to be different. I don't think it's true that they're the same.
Look, different, yeah.
He says, like crypto, the collection isn't much linear but cyclical, with 4 different color palettes progressing throughout winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Can't people say like fall? Why do you guys all have to say autumn? It's such a complicated word. Isn't it fall? That's the only thing I've never understood.
We don't really say
English.
fall in the UK, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I say fall. Because autumn is too tough for me to say. But I've always wondered. Anyways, it's a nod to being optimistic whether we're in crypto winter or DeFi. Yeah, it's gonna be different, dude. I think this is gonna be nicer than what people think, because we saw that one 12-fold image at the beginning with this website, and we haven't really seen, like, someone's asking if the code has been given yet. I don't think so. So I think oh, Hefner. Anyways, so I think, dude, like, I think this is gonna do better than people think, you know, because even this morning on the show, they weren't too impressed by it, but they were saying, like, at 0.11, like, it's looking like a buy. But in general, it was similar sentiment than you two. That's how on Nick and Pierre's show, it was very similar to you guys. But I don't know. I don't really know.
I vibe way more with Mecha Apes than I do with this, but
listen,
let's see how it goes.
I think it also takes a while to set up. I'm gonna share someone. Thank you to Thank you to 3chain, Web3 chain sent me it's the same link I had also to set up the inscription wallet. So I'm gonna share it. It's support.gamma.io, and Gamma is where I like usually set up your Ordinals wallet. So set up Ordinals wallet. So there's all the information that I tweeted it out. So the bottom right, if you're listening on Twitter Spaces, bottom right in the purple box, I put a tweet out as well. So that's the one thing. Obviously, be careful with all links as usual. This should not ask you to connect anything. It's just a site to teach you how to set up your own Ordinals wallet. In general, I do think people should be setting up Ordinals wallet with it, whether it's to participate in this or not, because there's something going on there. And a lot of big brands were quick to understand its value and to jump on it. And like Yuga was in the first one, right? But the fact that Yuga is doing it does mean something, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm wrong, and it is a 150-person company, and Figgy's like, fuck it, I wanted to try it and see what happens there. And they say, yeah, go right ahead, right? Because they do have their hands pretty full with what's going on the gaming side. But hey, we'll see what happens on that front, and we'll see what happens there. Because if it's a success, for a fact that they're going to be doing a lot more on that front. But anyways, I shared the links. I shared all that stuff. I put it up there. If anyone's curious, we'll see. What's your prediction? Let's make a prediction before we go on to tomorrow's show. I think the floor is going to be 1 Bitcoin, like on the last bid for the 288. Mando seems to think 0.5 Bitcoin. Ovi, what do you think here?
I think 0.21.
All
right, moving on. That's a guy who got really caught out there.
I did not get caught out. I just didn't think about it, and that's why I spoke slowly so I could think about it.
And in the chat, give me some predictions in the chat. We have Freed Seed that says 0.5 Bitcoin. We have Jack that says 1 Bitcoin. Hefner thinks more than that.
1 Bitcoin, that's mental.
Yo, Malcolm tweeted at me that she thinks 5 Bitcoin floor. I was like, okay, that's 100 G's. That's $100,000. Tell me you own a lot of Bitcoin without telling me you own a lot of Bitcoin. Man, I just saw your tweet about Lobes. Oh my God. That's so funny. I was just seeing this. I didn't actually see you do that earlier. We got to get you doing the same position, the same photo here. Look at that. That is so funny. And 5511's GIF is a perfect reaction to it as well. It was literally me. 0.69 Bitcoin, 0.25 Bitcoin. Anyways, so there has been a lot. So I've been on there. Anyways, I have a solid hospital pass coming here. I don't know for which of the one of you two I'm gonna pass it on to. Part of me says I should pass it on to OSF here. Because part of the big news that came out for Ethereum and out of ETH Denver again. ETH Denver is still going on, if I'm not mistaken. It's coming to an end now because it's 2 weeks. It must be done now. Was with the ERC-4337, right? That came out of what's it called? Of ETH Denver, and it was a pretty important one when it comes to wallet upgrades. We saw a bunch of threads get spun off immediately. I'm gonna pull one up here for people to read. But Mando, Ovi, do you guys have time to look into that over the weekend? Because it's actually a pretty
huge.
big upgrade, right? Do you want to explain why it's huge?
This is the thing. Like, this is the change that will cause a higher likelihood of mass adoption. And if you read it, it's stuff like the improvements that you'll have. You'll be able to actually sign transactions like with the fingerprint or with like your face or your phone. It's going to have like 2FA multi-sig built in, all this jargon about like gas and like nonce and all this stuff is going to be fixed. So it's going to be a lot more descriptive. Like, I think the idea is it's going to feel less like this bare bones thing where you feel like you're, like not writing code, but you feel like you're having to like understand and read code, to actually being way more user friendly. And this is how things develop, right? Like, if you think about bank transfers, when you transfer money from your bank account, you just use this app on your phone and it just says send cash, whatever, and then you do it. Like, no one really understands the mechanics behind like ACH or BACS or whatever, and you don't go through and do all these different things and sign transactions. So this is like the next step into it having a much more efficient and easy UX, and I guess potentially UI from all the things that get built on top of it. And I think it's a big thing. It's going to be a huge thing. And I for me, like, you read that and like, wow, like ETH is so cheap. Like I just want to own so much more ETH if they can pull this stuff off. But I was kind of surprised I didn't see the price move that much, and I guess because it's a longer term thing and it's not yet ready to be released anytime soon. But
no, it actually. No, it's really. I believe this is an ERC, which means
So here's the article. I'll share
the EIP, right? Or ERC.
No, it's actually I got it wrong. It's an ERC, which means that it's like ready to go.
So so that's the thing. So I thought it was also an EIP, Mando. That's why in the titles originally I had put ERC, deleted it, reposted last night's title under EIP. But then that was a conversation today because they were also wondering this morning. But then when I go on CoinDesk, the from March 1st, the title reads: Ethereum says ERC-4337 deployed, tested, beginning era of smart new contracts. The news of the deployment of ERC-4337 will be shared at an ETH Denver related event known as WalletCon. So at WalletCon then, which is that's what was where it was announced just recent. I think it was over this weekend, right? It was Saturday or Sunday. And so obviously immediately you saw all the news come out of it. This is where this was announced. So it's known as like the smart accounts. And honestly, the best thread to go to in this case actually is Zedeka, who wrote a whole thread about it himself. And it reads: ERC-4337 is an order of magnitude improvement with regards to usability of Ethereum. And then there's a whole thread covering everything about it. But technically, like TLDR, it's smart accounts. So it's like smart contracts to the blockchain. And the technical term, they call it account abstraction, right? And it's what Ovi is saying is that it's actually true. Like it's a big, like I understand why like a lot of people are like, why is it so hyped up now? Blah, 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 blah. The reason is because it's been deployed and it's actually a huge upgrade compared to what like the state of wallets before so, right? Like, you know how we say like, actually happened to me, right? I was thinking about what happened to me 2 years ago, right? Because now you have all this like backup, yada, yada, yada. And you know how like a lot of, we always say, oh, we're so early, crypto's too complicated. But before it was like, Ether's not green enough, right? Boom, the merge, right? Now it's like, crypto's too complicated, Ethereum's too hard to use. Imagine explaining it to your grandma, to your parents, even to friends, it's a hassle. That's fair. It's true. I have to explain to some friends to buy the Rektguys NFT, I had to go like do this. It's a headache, right? But all these things are massive upgrades that just make it all so much more seamless and easy to use. So it's definitely huge. I mean, especially with the 2FA and everything. I think it's quite a big upgrade.
2FA is a big one. I think the other big one is that you're able to put like a time limit on like pre-approved transactions. So which is meant to be a big thing for gaming. So like you could play a game, instead of having to approve every single transaction over the next like 30 minutes, you can set it so that it's like pre-approved for 30 minutes with particular applications. Does that make sense? So like you could play a game and not have to continually approve stuff whenever you pick up an item or I don't know, do something which would cause an on-chain transaction in the game. Or it could be in various different applications. But that idea of less having to go to your hardware wallet or having to sign stuff when it's like an approved dApp and you know you're going to be using it for a period. That's another one.
Yeah, I mean, like Michael's saying in the comment is right? Like multi-step signature is becoming a thing of the past, and that's what it is. This is a huge upgrade with regards to like the tech that we're all using every day to interact with the apps that we use on a daily basis. It affects like all of you guys listening to the show because you're all users of Ethereum, right? In a way, I'm pretty sure that most of our listeners use Ethereum on a day-to-day basis. And so there's a great thread by John Rising talking about, you know, all the excitement around ERC-4337 and some of the questions. It's actually pretty true. He says, account abstraction has existed before. What's news about this? It's true, smart accounts have existed before, notably Safe and Argent, but there's a few things that make it stand out. So he explains everything. I'm not going to go and, you know, obviously reread the whole thread that he's put out there, but there's some really, really interesting threads out there. And if you check it, and by the way, I'm seeing the comments right now asking us for the code. I'm going to give you the code. I'm just done opening the code for a whole hour. I was generous the first month or so. You know, now we open it for a few minutes here and there. So the code for today, rug.fm/rewards is, wait, Jazz told me before the show. Hold on. Oh,
it's actually new.
Oh, you changed.
Our new code is it's Loeb.
It was supposed to be macro.
This is maybe remembered as the Loeb show.
Oh my God, Loeb, Lobes. Lobes. Lobes is the code today to earn 5 ROG token for listening to the show. And if you're not a holder yet, just so you know, membership pass, Jensen NFT or the PFP, I'll get you access to our rewards program, which actually has a bunch of stuff that we added again over the weekend. A bunch of bounties, something Artemisia talked about on the town hall that we had on Friday, which was actually a pretty good town hall. I'll add it to the titles tomorrow so we can break it down because it was a really good one. And we can talk about a few things we have coming up. That's exciting. But definitely check it out. A bunch of cool stuff happening there. There you go. Wise says he claimed it. Love to see that. Noah says he's left his legacy. He definitely has left his legacy on the show now. Congratulations. Claimed 5 lobes. This is so funny. But yeah, so Ovi, your first thing you went to when talking about 4337 was you can't stop thinking about how ETH is undervalued at this point. And I got to agree with you, right? Of course, like talks about how the macros are affecting because you did say the macros were kind of like, we've been kind of decoupled in a way, but I feel like the only reason that we're held back is that, right? Like, what else?
Just think, like when you read stuff like that, and it just shows you how powerful ETH can be in the future, and maybe it's not right now, but maybe it's in a year or 2 years or 5 years. And you think about what's that market cap of ETH right now? It's like 250 billion.
I think so, around that range, right? It's
and it's something that can really like 180,
192.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you think about it that way, it just seems insane. And so, you know, like ETH can still be like a 10x plus trade here. You just have to kind of be patient and hold it and not FOMO into random stuff. So I don't know. Like I just think it's going to be a much bigger part of our lives than people really realize or give it credit for. Like ETH could be like the internet. Do you know what I mean? Ethereum could be the internet.
Well, I mean, it is definitely the blockchain technology as a whole. Is the layer being built on top of the internet, right? Like it's like this whole like, and that doesn't necessarily replace it per se, but that like definitely like makes it even better and more usable. And by the way, I have a feeling Mando is about to sound like he's from outer space at any second now. I can already hear the buzzing. I can tell when Obi makes a face. I love that. We definitely get the little buzz in the back, but. You know what's crazy is ETH is still less than half of Meta's valuation, market cap, when you put it that way. And I was looking at market caps for different companies. Ethereum right now in the States would be ranked at $192 billion, would be ranked. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen actually, because it's actually a pretty crazy statistic when you put it that way, when you compare it by market cap. Hermes is worth, between Hermes and Toyota, in terms of companies' market cap. So Hermes is $194 billion. Toyota is $191 billion. And then you have all these other companies that, you know, have a higher market cap than all of Ethereum. It's really hard not to feel bullish when you look at something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that I know, and you can't like compare like for like with market caps and stuff, but I don't know, man. I really think there's going to be one point in time, which is not too much in the distant future, where ETH is like fucking 100K or something. And we'll be like, oh, do you remember when we were like wondering whether to like buy the dip at 1400 and then like take profits at 1800 and all this shit? Like, I think all that stuff will be irrelevant at some point in time, which just makes me want to have like a big bag of ETH and not like put it away and just not touch it for as long as possible, which is actually exactly what I'm doing. And it's like the easiest one, right? It's not like, oh, I'm owning Cantor. I don't know if it's going to work or not, or I own Solana. I don't know if there's going to be like another L1 or not. Like ETH is going to make it. It is going to make it. And it may not have the same as high return profile as some of the other stuff out there, but you can have higher conviction and probably even higher expected value from that return profile than a lot of other things, which allows you to be big in it, allows you to own a lot of it and not think about it. And I just guess that's how I'm thinking about. I mean, I'm more comfortable knowing that I have ETH than when I have other tokens and I look all the time. But ETH is definitely a more comfortable place to park that money. But as usual, for YouTube and Twitter, NFA, DYRL, all that good stuff. Ovi, don't put us in trouble over here, telling everybody to buy their ETH. And God forbid these macro trends go lower and we get wrecked on ETH. They say it's your fault. But in a few years, they'll thank you.
We might. I think you could still have a shaky period, but
long term. we're good.
Yeah, what you're saying there makes a lot of sense.
No, I agree.
If you've noticed that Ovi, now that he sold the apes, will now just talk about ETH because that's his current bag.
Yeah.
So we'll have a section each day where he can talk about it.
I think we should have like a section dedicated to Ovi's bags. Like that's all we talk about. Like it's a 10-minute.
You'll notice it. It'll happen naturally.
You notice as soon as we talk about notable Pepes, he starts.
You already fudded Yuga already once on this.
I did not fud Yuga. I just said it was.
You did fud it. You did fud it.
Not. Hey, we still have like Yuga bags here.
Do you?
I mean,
what sort of bags?
We still do. We're mutant ape guys now, man.
We're mutant apes.
I love when you guys were with Rektguys in Paris.
Mutant Mondays, I believe. Today.
Yeah.
It is actually,
Monday. We should definitely post that out.
Yo, actually do it. That's actually a great idea. Post your mutants.
Mondays. Where you at?
Exactly. And you and Rektguy are probably the most popular mutant apes now. You know, how does that feel?
It does feel good. I'm gonna choose which.
Now you got to start shit posting. Now you got to start shit posting as well, and you have a new career in Web3. Congratulations! I did see Mando put a questionable tweet, Ovi. If you made $10 million, would you stop working or not? And you know,
have we stopped? One of us stopped. One of us stopped.
One of us never started.
One of us left last week and left Mando and I for dead. Anyways, you know what? Let's talk about Dr. Disrespect tomorrow. Let's talk about some regular stuff tomorrow. Let's talk about some of that things tomorrow because it's already 11:54. I think we've gone around a bunch of topics here for today, and it's been great. The Dr. Disrespect stuff I'm really interested about because I genuinely want to find out how do I buy those things because I love how bullish he is on Web3. And actually, that's someone that would be insane to have on the show. But I don't know if anyone knows him. But that's a big catch. It would be one of our biggest catches.
We should definitely get him. Yeah.
I mean, how big is Dr. Disrespect on YouTube right now? Or was he? Is it like? Hold on.
At Twitch, I think
it's Twitch. But I mean, he's got 4.2 million subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
Oops, that was one of his videos I opened up. I have no idea how much he's got on Twitch, but it's pretty big, and it would be pretty gangster to have him. You know, let's see his statistics online. I'm not too sure. Yeah, no, it is YouTube. He's got some insane stats on there. So I think it would be fire to have him on there. Talk about mass adoption, getting people involved. That's the type of things we know. Yeah, I did shoot him a DM, Michael. I definitely shot my shot. We definitely do shoot our shots with the show. We have some cool stuff, cool guests coming up. If I'm not mistaken, on Friday, we have Kevin Iwaki coming. That's no small catch right there. That's a pretty big one if you ask me. I had to book that, I think, 2 months ago. It's one of those. I went to the calendar and I'm, oh, wait. Hell yeah. Finally. I think it was a month and a half ago. That's how busy the man is. And I think your favorite thread person, Mando's coming on Wednesday, Elena. Your favorite thread of the day coming on the show on the 9th quickly. So that'll be a fun little segment we got happening. And I'm pretty sure we got some stuff happening this week. And with regards to stubs, that is rolling out soon. That's rolling out very soon. It's definitely rolling out this month. So definitely stay tuned. And if you don't know what it is, definitely check out my pinned tweet. It's going to be a fun ways to get rewarded for listening to the show. It's going to be just a fun thing. It happens like every week to week, and different artists every time. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to have more stuff coming on that front. And with that, a quick thank you as usual to Fair XYZ, our title sponsor of the show. I did pin at the top the drop to enter the allow list for Mint for Change. The collection opens tomorrow at 5 p.m. GMT. So that means right after the show. So at this time, in 24 hours, is when it goes live. They're using their new collections tool, so check it out because like it's they're using their own tools, obviously, rightfully so, to be able to do this launch. I think it's really cool for people to see it, and there's a lot of incredible female artists in that drop. 40 of them, actually, to be precise. So shout out to, I know Iona put a lot of stuff together on that front. And while you're checking out Fair, check out the intern series video that I did. I had to like unretweet it and re-retweet it this weekend because I thought it was so funny. I'm like, you know what? Let's give this another round of love on this. No, we will not be doing an after show of this show because it's already a lot of shows and a lot of stuff going on. Mitchell Mallon is asking for a headphone removal, Mando. Oh, we got more loves. But anyways, Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful week. Wow, today was definitely interesting type of show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube. All the content's gonna be out there. You're gonna see a lot of dope stuff happening on the YouTube front for Rug Radio, for our show, for our night show, for Rec Radio, and for a bunch of other stuff happening with Rug Radio. With that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of GM Web3 on Rug Radio. Let's go.
And it's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. GM
Lows.
on this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Morocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30. And it's all on Rug Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Rug Radio.
And broadcast. And space.